Hi, welcome back again. This is a video about data. Now, data everywhere, but not a drop to drink is typically the case. You know, as teachers, we spend hours grading, we spend hours doing things in very different systems, all over the place. Like we could give hours of feedback in Google Docs and never ever see it again. And never know whether it was adopted, used, picked up, transferred. We don't have time to go back and check. So you have to steal the moment in the moment with data. You have to have it right alongside you, always visible, but never, in the way. So really, data is a key thing that we need to talk about, and that's included in our data module, which is a combination of a couple of things. It's a combination of the dashboard and the groove. So let me talk about the groove just quickly. Um, every student in the school is writing away. They could be writing in one or more subjects, in different genres and different topics all over the place, right? That doesn't mean that can't come together as a profile for a student. And in Scribo Groove, it certainly does come together. It comes together in a really nice way where across all activities, we're tracking, progress against peers, and we're tracking top skills and skills that need to be improved as writing is happening. So immediately in one screen, any teacher in the school can track into, if we're having a problem writing in English, are we having a problem writing in science or biology or economics? You know, my guys were always good at economics, really high scores. English, well, different kind of rubric, different kind of, context and content. So you can see this in Groove and you can track it in Groove, and it's all the way through in Groove. And if you want to dive in and have a look at the teacher comments that were given in any essay, it's a single click. If you want to see how Scribo helped improve and how students tracked to get to the final result they got to, you can see that as well. So there's a lot you can do in Groove, just moving around. It's a great thing for parent-teacher nights. It's a great thing to show parents that you've got the student under your wing. You're tracking everything that's going on. You know where they're good and bad. We just need more practice. The word is always more practice. And unfortunately, more practice means more marking, more work, but that's where Scribo takes the more away. We reduce the impact of that nasty little four-letter word, more, and bring it into a scope where there's more energy about improvement and less about kind of managing the process. So that's Right Groove, and accessible from a few different places inside Scribo. While you're in your writing environment and class checking, you can see the groove on the right hand side. The next part of the data story is the dashboard. So there's dashboards are really a great thing. They get you information that you don't normally see, and we can do it by rubric. We can do it by automatic scoring. We can do it by activity. We can do it by class. We can do it by cohort. We can do it by subject, student, genre, within date ranges. So really what this is all about is getting you access to seeing things that you're not used to seeing, and then having a moment with the data to see where you could next impact on what's going on. So if you didn't know, in this class here, using auto marking, grammar is really a problem. Um, these are the things that need the most attention. These are things that we're going well at. So if you're actually actively trying to improve these things, you're doing a great job. In terms of other students who need more help in this particular thing called keyword usage, they're off topic all the time. Here they are. Now, these are the essays that they've been off topic in. So like working the way through data, everyone thinks about data differently. We catch a lot of data. We catch a lot. Every time a student does a writing check, we catch so much data around how they're improving, what's going better this time than last time, what's going worse this time versus last time. And it really compounds into all of these different elements that you can drill into. What I started with my story about feedback was it's always a horror story, feedback, because teachers give so much of it, but they never really get to see how much feedback they've given to Jenny across her journey in the classroom. So here it is here. So tracking back with students, making things visible, having conversations. This is what being the teacher is all about. And the dashboards are really, really simple to run. So if you want to know what sort of feedback you gave for what activities you did, this is all the feedback you gave for Orwell. This is the one you gave for Mary. This one for Homer. It's all available. It's all a click away. And it's really, really interesting stuff to see just how much work teachers do and how much interaction you have, but sometimes you can't actually get back and validate. So this is what the whole thing is about. What some of the most powerful pieces of it are in the grade book, where obviously there's so much activity going on across a school, across a class, across a whole curriculum, that tracking it and knowing what's in motion, what's been completed, what type of activities, how much time students have been spending on this stuff. So how much time have kids been spending on their essays and writing indeed. So this is, an hour, 44 minutes we got here. The number of words, the major revisions that were done, the minor revisions that were done. There's a lot of data in here that can really help teachers hone in on what they want to see, how they want to see it. And it's simply just dragging things around the screen. So if you want to focus in on a student, you can do that, and we'll start focusing in on a student, and we show you everything that's been going on and what's been going on. So these are all drillable. I won't do it to annoy you, but you can click through and keep going. Okay, it's really it's a place where you follow your nose, and it's a place where I think you can get a lot of value. And if you really get to the point where you're happy with what you got and you want to go and graph it, you can export anything out to Excel, and we'll help you do that. So dashboards are cool. So I want to show you now where we're headed with data. It's got to be a growth story. I mean, a lot of effort that goes in. You want to see a return on the investment of time, right? So we track improvement. Now I'll move quickly because these are student names we don't want to show in reality. But you can see that most of the students, like 30% of the students, are achieving growth above sort of 10%. And when we get to the 40 percentile kind of, or the top 40%, they're achieving growth of 50 plus. Now, what is growth? It's an improvement in the overall writing ability between where they started their first draft of an activity and where they got to right now. So it's an uplift coming from feedback. It's an uplift coming from teacher feedback, Scribo feedback, support, scaffolds, planning. All of the elements that get put in to support the writing are working, and they're lifting the outcomes of students. And what we really want to see is a broader range. So informative writing is getting better. Really a lot better at the 50 percentile mark, where we're getting into the 50 percentile lift, and some students are going through the roof there. Same with reports, and you'll always find that when it's imaginative, it might not grow as quickly, but when it's informative, persuasive, or reporting where people have got a bit more parlance, or even email, you'll see an uplift because the feedback kind of resonates with the students. Sometimes the nuances of writing feedback can miss the point with students, but what you see in the basics of writing growth are really encouraging. And what we track here is something that's really quite special to watch. You can do it by genre, by class, by activity. Okay, so it's a very powerful way for teachers to get that reassurance, I guess, that what's happening in the classroom is heading in a positive direction and they're seeing results. That's part of what's really important. Okay, where data I think is all headed is into this world of chat, where we've got a very powerful AI at the back that can read and interpret things that we're doing. So we don't really need to have charts everywhere. I think charts are kind of a bit boring. Every time we kind of see a chart, everyone says, "What does that mean?" So it means, I think, a lot more if we can answer a question. So if we were to, for example, as a head of department, list activities by class in a table and see whereabouts the scores are headed. Are they going up or down? What sort of error rates are we getting? Who's doing what? This is a really good way of asking it questions. So we've got this ability to track history here. Okay, so we'll list activities and scores for all skills by class, and you'll get this as a result. Now, we can ask it really who's the best scoring student in any particular subject, how many errors someone's got, what's the growth percentage for a student over time. These are all questions that you can ask, talk to it, explore your data, ask it what's going on inside there, and get an instant result. And I think the chat side of this is really the future of data analysis. I think if you can't be conversational anymore, you've got to learn how to be conversational, because if it's not human to human, it's definitely going to be human to LLM, which is large language model. And this is the breakthrough I think that's coming across everywhere, really, is that you have a new level of inquiry power, research, all at your fingertips, and using the right products around it can really streamline what you're doing, and that's what we're out to do for you. So that's where chat is headed. That's where data is headed. In the meantime, we've got some fabulous dashboards, information, progress at any level of your writing, any level of your school or your students across time, across terms. We can see the impact of what you're doing on a daily basis, and that's a really important thing to keep the encouragement level high and the motivation strong for students to improve. So if you can think of what you want to see, we can give it to you. If you want to think of what you can ask, we can help you get that too. That's the data pack of Scribo, and it's a really exciting way to validate what's going on and look into how you can help students learn more about writing better English. Oh, that was a mouthful. See you in the next video. Bye for now.